Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash of Clans. Today I'm doing something that I haven't done in literally 6 months. Sharing bases with you guys. So you guys have requested that I share more base designs on my channel. There's a few problems with that, and this is going to serve as a disclaimer as you take a look at the first base that we're going to share today. I picked out 5 bases that stood up very well in war, meaning that they required the other team to dip in 2 consecutive wars to 3 stars. So they have been A, battle tested, and B, made by proven longtime war veterans at Town Hall 9. Now I should note that these are technically, and this is the problem with base sharing videos, is as soon as I share these, A, they're outdated a little bit because they've already been made and proven in war, but usually the most competitive players switch their base almost every single war. So obviously these are old in the sense that they weren't designed yesterday or today. But the good news is that will be valuable to about 99% of you guys who don't necessarily need to competitively change your base every single day in worry, in fear that the opponent will have already seen your base and know where all the traps are. Now, speaking of traps, I do recommend you switching up the trap locations and also the hidden Tesla locations just a bit in case you happen to run up against somebody who's already seen one of these bases, maybe in a video like this. So the reason I like all these bases is they're really the new defensive designs at Town Hall 9. More compact bases in terms of the walls, much more units and buildings on the perimeter of the base outside the walls, and that makes things much more difficult to funnel. Obviously as well, you don't have the double giant bombs nearly as much as you used to see them after the removal of the double damage against the hogs. So why are these bases designed this way? There's a few things that you're going to notice in all these bases except for one. Number one is they're a more compact design. We already talked about that. A little bit more difficult to queen walk, a little bit more difficult to funnel, and a lot of them are baiting the attacker to attack from one specific area in the base. For example, this base and the one that you're going to see now, you can see the clan castle and the queen are kind of vulnerable, and that's because the defender can dictate where the enemy, where the attacker starts their attack from, and then make the rest of the base difficult to kind of negotiate after you start from that point. That's why all these bases, you can tell, were designed originally by very skilled base designers. Now, it's not to say that they're impossible to 3-star. You guys probably know this, but you know, Town Hall 9, any skilled attacker with enough planning, especially if it's not a fresh hit, can definitely 3-star any of these bases. But these are kind of just trending bases, again, with the more compact base design. When you're going into a base like this, oftentimes you kind of fall victim of the illusion that you can send in the bowlers in your kill squad and then just use the hogs around the perimeter of the base. But these bases are all designed to prevent that, especially with the spring traps placed very strategically in the most popular hog pathing areas. And a lot of these bases have the Tesla farms, and sometimes in unorthodox locations such as this base that you're looking at right now, really forcing the attacker to start his queen walk, start his attack, usually somewhere near that archer queen, and the barbarian king looks pretty vulnerable there, but there is that hidden Tesla farm over there in the 3 o'clock area surrounding that BK. So essentially what you're doing is making the opponent choose where to start their raid. Do they want to go against the barbarian king with the Tesla farm and the clan castle engagement, or do they want to start kind of relatively safer towards the archer queen? So as the defender, again, you're trying to dictate what your opponent does when they attack the base, especially on fresh hits, and then from there you want to go ahead and make life as difficult as possible. Planning the attacker is going to hit from the areas that you want them to as a defender here. Now this last base here is kind of a throwback to the more open designs if you guys aren't a big fan of the compact bases that are really everywhere right now. But this base is kind of a tricky base as well. This time an unlurable clan castle as opposed to the other bases, and they have the Tesla farm pretty well protected there towards the southern area of this base. So guys, that is going to do it for these 5 bases. My top 5 bases right now in the game at Town Hall 9. If you guys enjoyed them, go ahead and use them. Let me know how you do with these bases, guys. And if you want to see Town Hall 8, 10, or 11 bases, go ahead and let me know. Drop me a comment. Tell me what base you are, and whatever the most popular comment or request is, I'll make sure I deliver on those goods. So guys, thank you again so much for watching, and And as always, take care, guys.